Hey guys, what's up? Dr. W here, and today we're going to talk about the Xbox Showcase that just ended. Jot down some notes, we're just going to go over them and discuss it. So, it started with a Halo Infinite cinematic and demo that lasted for 14 minutes, which was about a quarter of the entire conference. And it comes out in holiday 2020. I thought the graphics looked fine. It was definitely made to run on an Xbox One as well, and honestly, I've seen better graphics from first-party Sony games that came out like 2018. So the graphics on this one, nothing to write home about, but it looked fine. It's quasi-open world, at least in the mission that the demo showed, which was interesting. They've been working on this game for 5 years now, so it's clearly not an Xbox Series X exclusive. It's probably not gonna be the best running game on that console either, since they probably built most of it for the Xbox One. Um, and the villain that they showed in it gave me some Gaul vibes from Destiny 2. And as I thought at the end, it showed that it's coming to Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PC. So if you want to play it, you can either play it on the console you have now or on your PC. Next, they showed a quick trailer for State of Decay 3, which comes out on Series X and PC. There was no release date for this game, and it seems fine. I mean, State of Decay 1 and 2 were both like 6 or 7 out of 10s. Nothing too crazy, but the third one could be like a fun little romp in this like zombie world, so it seems fine. Next up, there's some Game Pass talk, but they talked about how games will play best on Series X, and I don't think that's true because all games on Series X also come into PC, so it would make sense that all of these games would run best on a high-end PC, which will be a better piece of hardware than the Series X. Just seems like the Series X is affordable, like middle of the road, closer to high-end PC. But if you spend like a grand or two on a PC, it's definitely going to run these games better. I don't think there's any question of that. So this seems like some marketing speak that will not be come to fruition. Next up was some Forza talk and a trailer. I don't really care about Forza. It said it was captured in engine. There was no gameplay. It says it's going to come to Series X and PC with no release date. That seems to be a trend with a lot of these things that they showed. It's a trailer with no gameplay and there's no release date. So keep that in mind. Next up, they showed a game from Rare. It's called Everwild. It was just a trailer, no gameplay, no release date, and it's for the Xbox Series X and PC. Again, remember all the games here are coming to PC as well. And now we're about a third of the way through the conference, and that's all they've shown so far, which got me a little concerned. Next up, they showed this new Don't Nod game, and it's one of these run-of-the-mill like choice-based game that Don't Nod makes. There's a trailer, no gameplay. It's coming to Series X, Xbox One, and PC, and it's coming out August 27th. So it's coming out soon, but by the time, the people who want to play it are going to play it on their One and PC, so it doesn't really matter that it's coming to Series X. This seems more like a game that's going to be upgraded to Series X from your Xbox One. Next up, they showed an Outer Worlds DLC trailer, no gameplay. It's coming out September 9th, 2020. But remember that this is not from Microsoft itself. This is from Private Divisions, who still has the contract with Obsidian over the Outer Worlds. So this DLC and the other DLC they talked about are both going to be coming to PS4 as well. So that's nothing to like make you go out and buy an Xbox. Then they talked about this new Obsidian game, which is a multiplayer survival game where you're like shrunken down and you're fighting these insects. It's called Grounded. It seems like this Ark type game. It's coming out on early access on Xbox One and PC on July 28th, but yet it was another trailer without gameplay. Then they showed this new new Obsidian RPG called Avowed. It was a trailer with no gameplay or release date. It's coming to Series X and PC. And this is the first game that I thought that, I would want to play that they've shown, that I would be a little disappointed not being able to play. But they didn't say anything about it, other than show this quick trailer. So I'm not sure how it's going to play, what it's even going to look like when it comes out. And to be honest, there are better open world RPGs that are first party Sony games like Horizon or Ghost of Tsushima than Obsidian has made in a long time. So I think this is probably just going to be a game you would like to play, but if you're interested, there are better games out there that you could play, and this is not going to be like a system seller. And now we're halfway through the showcase, and though they showed some games, I was still like, man, where's the like system seller, want me to buy an Xbox over the PlayStation 5. And then they talked about this game called As Dusk Falls, which is labeled as an interactive drama. I could care less about this type of game. There was no gameplay or release date. It's a Series X and PC game. Then they went to Ninja Theory, and they only talked about Hellblade 2, which is coming to Series X and PC, but it was a discussion of the game with no trailer, gameplay, or release date. And then Ninja Theory did not talk about any other game they worked on either, so that was kind of disappointing. Then they showed a Double Fine game, Astronauts. There was a quasi-trailer with Jack Black singing a song in a VO booth. Looks weird as fuck. It's coming to Series X, Xbox One, and PC. I didn't really see any gameplay in the trailer, though it could have just been disguised. And there was no release date. Next up, they showed off Destiny 2, which is coming to Game Pass with all of its expansions, though I'm not sure if that includes Beyond Light as well in the Game Pass deal. And then they showed a trailer for Beyond Light with some gameplay of the new Supers, which looks cool. But this is a third-party game that's coming to everything. It's just a little nod to Bungie, which used to be an Xbox studio. And then the next list of games that I'm going to go through were launch window exclusive games. Some of them on Xbox One and Series X and PC. Some of them just on Series X and PC. I'll tell you when we get to a game like that. But all these are coming out in the launch window. And some of the release dates on these games kind of got me questioning what a launch window means in this term, so we'll look into that. So there was a trailer for a game called Stalker 2, which is, S.T.A.A.L.K.E.R. So it's like an acronym. I have no clue what this game is. It's on X and PC when it launches. There was no gameplay or release date. Then there was a trailer for this Warhammer Doctai game on X and PC with no gameplay. But the release date for this game was 2021, and that's what made me question what launch window means in this, term, like how they're using the word. I'm not sure what that means since this game is coming out next year. Then there was this weird Tetris game. It's just Tetris Effect Connected. It's coming out holiday 2020 on Xbox One, X, and PC. So it's not really a launch window game because it's coming out on the console you already own. Then there's this game called The Gunk from the Steam World Dig people. It's coming out on One, X, and PC with no release date, again, on a console you already own. Then there's a trailer for this game with maybe some gameplay hidden in it. I'm not sure. It's called The Medium. It looked cool. It's kind of like this dual world transforming from the, regular world to this, like, demon world, which looks fun. It's on X and PC with no release date. So, I might check that out if it comes to PS5, but again, it's a launch window game, and so it'll eventually come out wherever, and it's not one I'm going to run out and buy an Xbox for just to play early. Then they showed off this Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. There's some gameplay in a trailer. It's not a type of game I'd play on a console regardless of where it's going, and it's also coming out on One, X, and PC, so again, not just exclusive to the X when it launches. It's already on the One if you own a One. Then they showed this Crossfire X game, campaign trailer, which comes out to the One and the X in 2020. I'm not sure if it was gameplay. It didn't look much like gameplay, but it just looks fine, so there's that. And then that's the end of the launch window exclusive games. And then they started talking about how the Xbox One games will be getting upgraded to Xbox Series X, so, that's nothing new that's going to happen on any next-gen console you buy. And then there was this one more thing, which I think we all knew what it was going to be going into the show because they talked about it in the pre-show. From Playground Games, which is interesting because these are the people that make the Forza games, so that kind of gives me some, iffy feelings on how this game's going to be. They showed off Fable. No clue what it is. It's coming to X and PC. There was a quick, 30-second trailer. No gameplay, no release date. This trailer was just about as bad as, the Elder Scrolls 6 trailer Bethesda showed years ago. This Fable game could be coming out in, 2024 for all we know. We know nothing about it. Just, a little get hyped trailer. And that's about it. I'm not really impressed with this showing. There was nothing on here that I was like, shit, man, I feel bad not getting an Xbox for. If you like Halo, obviously, you're probably already going to get an Xbox. But if you like Halo, you don't have to get the Series X. You can keep the One. And Halo Infinite's going to play on the One just fine. And a bunch of these games are going to come to Xbox One as well, so you can definitely hold off from upgrading to a Series X, especially if you have a decent enough PC to play some of these other games. So I feel like maybe this is the last Xbox console they're going to make. I'm really concerned for Microsoft on how this thing's going to sell. The Xbox One has sold respectively probably 40 million units, 50 million units or so. But I fear this Series X is going to sell 10 million units, 20 million units at most. Like it's got me concerned for Xbox, and I feel bad. The games look fine. There's no system sellers in here. I hope they show more, because competition is always good. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.